Hello, welcome to the Naviance lesson for 10th graders on the Career Cluster Finder. First step is logging in. You may have had some experience with this already, but Naviance button is on the lower right-hand side of the main Evansville High School homepage. It should bring you to a page that looks like this, and there's some login information for how to log in case you have any trouble. If this doesn't work and you still can't log in, counselors are in the counseling center right now available to help. Once you log in, click the Careers tab and you should see these options. And then on the What Are My Interests section on the left-hand side there, click the Cluster Finder link. And it should show you a page that looks like this. Click the Let's Begin button at the bottom of the page. And it should bring you to this screen. You start the activity and then you talk about activities. Then you talk about personal qualities and school subjects. And then you'll see number 5, your results. Those are listed up there at the top of the screen here. So start with checking off the boxes of the activities that are interesting to you. And there isn't a certain number that you need to check, and there isn't a right or wrong way to do this per se. You just want to check as many that you feel apply to you. It's okay if it's almost all of them. It takes into account how many different interests you have. So there is no right or wrong way to do this, too many or too few. When you move to the next section, personal qualities, it's the same thing. If you believe that you are these things, go ahead and check them. I'm sure we all have a little bit of all of these on some level. I think it's asking you to focus on the ones that describe you the best. And again, there's not a certain number that you need. Just try to choose the ones that are more you than other things, and check those boxes, and then leave the ones that are less descriptive of you blank. And again here, same way to apply this activity. There's not a certain number that you need to check. There's not necessarily such thing as too many or too few, but if you check too few boxes, it can't figure out what you're interested in. If you check too many, then it also can't figure out what you're interested in. So try to highlight the ones that you enjoy the most, and whatever that means to you. Okay, that should allow you to reach the page number 5, the results page, that looks like this. It should provide you with probably 3 top clusters, and then a little bar chart below that shows you kind of the percentage match. So the higher the percentage in that chart below, the more of a match your activities and personal qualities and subjects are to the career cluster that they have in the Naviance Career Research program. So if you have one that, in the case on the screen here, it's sort of an even distribution. Human services is the closest cluster, and then less and less as you go down the line. So I think it would make sense for this person to click human services and add this cluster to your list, or click all 3, or the top 2, human services and hospitality tourism. If your results have one that's a very high match, and then the next closest one is not nearly as high, it's in a totally lower category, you could just go with adding just the one that's the high match, just adding that cluster only. It's up to you. You can add as many as you want, but again, try to read what it's telling you and add the clusters to your list that may be a high match for you. When you click on the cluster title, it should bring you to a page that looks like this for whatever cluster it is that you chose, with an overview and the credentials or things that you need to do the job, related careers, plans of study at different colleges and other post-high school institutions. And that's it for the required activities today. The next 16 slides show examples of the different 16 career clusters that Naviance has organized, just to kind of help you make sense of all the different jobs there are out there and what cluster or group they would put those jobs in. So the next slides, you can watch and look through and pause if you want to look what's on the page, but it just gives examples of the types of careers that are in the 16 different career clusters that Naviance has used to group all careers into. Thanks, and we'll be in touch with you again as we do more post-high school planning activities later on in the year.